So how come you never left Chinatown?
Well, it wasn't really by choice in the beginning, but in the end it worked out well. First of all, when my mom had me, I was living at 705 Jackson Street. And then later on, the people moved out. Our tenants moved out from 707. And so Mom said, oh, let's move upstairs because it's a lot bigger. Because my dad had filled one room with all his things from the Eagle pleating shop. We had all his machinery locked up in, well, more than 2 rooms, I believe. So we only were living in the back part of the house. So we moved upstairs to 707 and we had 7 rooms to live in. And then after that, when I got married in 1965, my mom offered us to live in the house next door, which is 703, where I am presently living. And Mom says, well, why don't you live here and then make your plans? And I said, well, Mom, we really would like to live in a nice new home. We have a new life together. And then, so we started looking around, and homes ran between $18,000 and $20,000, or a little higher. And we found a house that we really liked in Alameda. However, when I went home and told my mom says, that's outrageous. How are you going to meet the house payments? And she says, why don't you stay here at 703 for a while, and when the prices go down, you can think about moving. Well, my husband and I discussed it, and it sounded like it was a good idea. Then came our first daughter, Pamela. And my husband at that time was working at the post office, and he could just walk to work. He was working at 13th and Jackson Street. So Mom came over and watched Pam while I finished off some work in school to get my 5-year credential. And then it seemed like it was a great idea having Mom here as a instant babysitter. And so we thought about it, and we said, okay, we'll put off the house hunting for a while. Then a couple years later, Suzanne was born. Well, by this time, the houses have gone up even higher. And by this time, we were no longer living on a 2-income family budget. Only my husband was working. I had begun to stay at home. So then Mom says, well, now what? I said, well, guess you're stuck with us. And so that's how it ended up. And it worked out really well because my mom, she lived to almost 90, and she was ill for a short time, but I was able to watch and take care of her.